What's going on today, guys? Today we're gonna finally do it. We're gonna do the spider fuel injection in the 2012. So looking at a couple of videos as well as taking a peek at the actual intake manifold itself, it actually looks fairly straightforward. I'll have to undo the fuel line, I'll have to remove the throttle body, a couple of other small little bits and pieces. It looks like I can do everything with a 10mm and 8mm. And it should surprisingly go pretty smooth. So I'm gonna go look up the torque specs as well as the torque sequence just to make sure everything's good, but beyond that, I think we'll actually have this out of here pretty quickly. All right, let's get started. Well, that was going super well until it wasn't. So surprisingly, we were able to get the old one off. I only had one of these break. That is incredible. So the key for this, I'd seen a couple of people recommend basically what you guys saw, work it back and forth with WD-40. It comes right out. Thankfully, it looks like just that one was a little bit too seized in there. It looks like it's basically, it pinches on the inside right here, and then there's a little bit of a tab, if you guys can kind of see that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get close enough to really show you guys the piece. Move my light a little bit so you can kind of see there's a little bit of a lip that sits in the intake and allows it to do that. So here's what the actual problem is. Okay, looking at, this is the one that came off the truck. Cylinder 6 on this one was actually the defective one. If we look at this, this was 5 that gave me the issue. 6 would have been, I think I had a bent. It's right here. This is the one that I suspect is clogged at the top right there. There's not really a good way to do it. It's the truck's bucking and kicking. It's really, really unhappy. So, but here is the actual issue, and I'm going to bring in a little bit more light so you guys can see. Okay, as you see, one's yellow O-ringed and the other one is just like gunk and crap. So the top one on this specific part is a blank. It is a returnless system, so that means somewhere in this casting right here, there's probably a big chunk of plastic or it's not fully drilled out. So this is exclusive to what I can tell would be, say, 06 and newer, all the way to end of life, which was 2013. So here's the one that I got, okay? Just because I could not find something for my specific vehicle, at least at the time when I was ordering parts. So here's the big difference, and you can see there's 2 yellow O-rings. This top one is for a return style, okay? There'd be 2 pieces there. It just sits, clamps down. The crappy thing about it is that is the only issue from this being installed. So I'm going to do a little bit more digging, see if I can find anything. Quick search on Amazon did not give me any good results at all for even finding a remote part number. However, there is a part number on that I will utilize. Beyond that, the only other thing I could think of is seeing if I could hit up a junkyard to see if there is a input and output into one line. If there is, then I can use this one. Shouldn't be any other issues outside of that. Everything else looks identical from everything I can tell. The only difference being that this one has a nipple, whereas this one does not. But with that being said, I don't think that actually makes a difference from what I can see. And if it is, I can take that off and utilize it on that one. They are interchangeable, even if they don't tell you that, as long as the inlet size is the same, which it should be within reason. So unfortunately, that's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to keep doing some digging, doing some homework. I will find something. I just don't know how soon. And unfortunately now, the truck will not move at all. So with that being said, we're going to call this one a night. And probably the next time you see me, I will have miraculously figured it out, of course. And we'll have the correct part in hand, ready to install. So see you guys soon. All right, what's going on, guys? So today, it's been a few days. Unfortunately, the original plan that I had is not gonna work. So originally I was ordering something to block this port on the new spider fuel injection system for this. So this is gonna be one that is a return style from, say, like 1999 all the way up to like 05. So originally my plan was to block that off, reuse this regulator that does not have a nipple on it, and put it into this housing. The only problem, these 2 pieces, and this is actually called a fuel dampener, are different sizes. So from there, I had to start thinking a little bit more creatively, and I actually came up with a new solution, and maybe this is a little bit telling. We are going to just change the injectors. So these are actually pretty simple and straightforward to do. I was actually thoroughly surprised. So it looks like I've already pulled number 3 on this one. So let's, for example, let's try on the new ones just to give you a very simple shot. So if you look inside of there, okay, you're going to see basically the other side of this. You're going to see 2 pins and then a simple plastic connection point. Okay, how the fuel works on this unit, from what I can tell, is fuel will enter in this main channel right here and it will fill essentially a cavity. If we look on top of this, there's actually an opening at the bottom of this right here. So fuel enters in here and then it goes through and is actually injected there. So it's pretty simplistic in that regard. So what I'm going to do is basically I'm just going to slowly work through with a little bit of carb cleaner to clean out all of the areas that I need to. Removing these dampeners is very simple. All you do is you just simply pry on the cable connector on both sides right there, just like that. Nice and easily twist. There's just a simple O-ring that sometimes stays in just like it did on that time. Okay, and then from my understanding, I should be able to just hose that open and it come out. So it looks, overall, it looks really, really simple for me to rebuild this. So that's the route that I'm gonna go. I was able to find some, I was able to finally find what I was looking for on these, but the problem is they want an absolutely absurd amount of money for something that should not cost that much. Mind you, this unit was $100. For a rebuilt, not new version of this, they want $400. So I did look up, the injectors are exactly the same. I'm gonna test fit one of them here just to showcase that. Really cool thing is all you need is a pick, or I'm sorry, a punch, and all you do is you just simply line it up directly on that plastic pin. I did this the first time in the vise just to make sure I wasn't running into any issues, but all you do is you just simply get it started, and I think I actually already hit one on this one. Let's try it one more time. There's that, and pop, she comes out just like that. Okay, so that's number 3. What I'm gonna do is I want to completely remove the ones out of this unit so I can completely remove the ones out of that unit just to make sure everything is correct, and then I'll move them all over to make sure that everything is totally fine in this piece. And you guys okay, cool. All right, so they are labeled on the sides, so all I am going to do, this is one for example, we're gonna line it up just like this right here. I'm just double checking. We're gonna take a little bit of WD-40 just because it's oil based. It's not anything that's gonna jack up the O-rings. Specifically, I had seen on these that they said you do not want to use anything with any type of silicone in it. So to my knowledge, WD-40 is fine. You will not have any issues. Let's see, come on. So you gotta be very gentle with these, and exactly what I was kind of a little concerned with was getting these pop back in. But I'm just gonna use a liberal amount of WD-40, make sure that pin's nice and straight. Let's see. Okay, yep. Back and forth. It does feel like it wants to go in. I'm just trying to be safe with it. So the only other thing we can do is we will take, I'm gonna put this right here, this right here. Yep. Yep, there we go. That is perfect. No issues whatsoever. The cool thing about WD-40 is you can use it exactly as how I was just showing right there and have no issues at all. Just because WD-40 stands for water displacement, and it is the 40th iteration of the water displacement formula. So, again, going to make sure that everything is lined up. We are looking good. I'm just going to go right to this one again to make sure, yep, lined up. And it's pretty easy to. There's a little channel where you can kind of see exactly where it needs to be lined up. And again, I'm not really using a lot of force here. I am just tapping on it realistically. And yeah, it is going together nicely. So I'm going to finish up on this, and then I guess we have nothing left to do but put the truck back together. And perfect. Very last thing that we're going to do is I'm going to take this off and kind of blast that off. Okay. And then, we got that all actually out. There we go. You just want to twist nice and gentle like that. It rolls the O-ring in, and then this side you can see the little ribbed clamp goes facing outward just like that, and this thing is rebuilt. The only other thing we have to do would be to put down, this is just like a little simple plate that retains everything. I don't think it matters which way. You can kind of play with it to see if it does. I would be very surprised if it actually does. It might also just only go one way. I'm putting it with the little tab opening facing backwards, and if I remember correctly, this is just an 8mm. We are just going to snug these up. All that this is a simple retainer to make sure that those injectors stay in their channels, and that's it. So, 1, 2, just like that. Okay, we're gonna try firing it up and see what's going on. I did pull the fuel pump relay on it, so I'm gonna run it once. Okay. Okay. As of right now, it's okay. Unfortunately, it's still not running the greatest, but I don't know if it's a fuel pressure issue or what. Seems like it's running kind of funny, but there's only one thing that we can check to unfortunately make sure that we didn't screw anything up. Well guys, it didn't fix it. The truck's still acting weird, so we're gonna go and see if we can figure out if we can test the coil, but unfortunately it's gonna be another night before we can do that, so you'll see that shortly. What's going on, guys? Okay, so today we're going back to the 2012 and we are looking at doing the coil pack. So unfortunately on this bad boy, it is all the way back there. So thankfully it's pretty easy. It is only 4 10mm bolts from what I can tell. So I'm going to set up real quick and knock this out, and then hopefully this is going to fix it, because right now we've got a misfire on cylinder 6 right here. So at this point, the only other thing it could be is something compression related. So we're really hoping it's going to be this. All right, I'm going to set up and we'll go from there. Okay guys, let's take a look. Okay, it's running. Let's see. I don't hear anything right off the top of my head. Man, it still sounds like it's not running right. Yep, multiple misfire. Okay, let's see. Okay, now it's off. Let's see. I mean, it's this stumble, and you can kind of see it right about there, where it's just fluttering. Seems way better than it was before. Man, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. The only other thing I could think of would be if it's having some sort of mass airflow sensor issue. But man, this thing is weird. This just does not make any sense at all. So, well, I mean, we'll probably drive it. We'll see if we can get it to clear up at all. But Man, this is getting annoying, guys. I'm not gonna lie. This is just very frustrating. At this point, it's gotten plugs, wires, injectors, coil pack. I mean, it's gotten pretty much everything. I mean, short of changing some sensors here and there, but it's had a throttle body done. I thought that this one was the one that had the mass airflow. Maybe that was the Ranger, but yeah, I guess we'll just have to keep plugging away at it and see if we can find the root of the cause. So until then, though, it's going to be a little while for me to figure out what's going on with this thing, and we'll get back to it though. So all right, catch you guys next time.